World News: France confirms more than 22,000 cases of coronavirus. South Korea confirms 100 new cases, surpassing the 9,000 mark. Italy's death toll rises past 6,000. Among them, 72-year-old priest Giuseppe Berardelli. The global number reaches past 400,000, with 18,612 people who have died. Chinese officials announced that the lockdown in Wuhan, where the coronavirus originated, will terminate April 8th. In U.S. news, the U.S. Olympic Committee postpones Tokyo Games until next year. Coronavirus cases reach past the 54,000 mark. There are 782 confirmed deaths. An Arizona man dies after ingesting chloroquine phosphate in an attempt to prevent infection from the coronavirus. The surviving wife is in critical condition. In California, city of Lancaster, a resident under the age of 18 dies from the coronavirus. In Washington, a deal has been reached for a $2 trillion stimulus package. In Wall Street, the S&P 500 is up 9.3%. The Nasdaq is up 8.1%. The Russell 2000 is up 9.3%. And the NYSE ARCA Oil Index is up 14.9%. Valentine's
Hey everybody, I just want to say something about my trusty sidekick Faith. Today, she thought it was a good idea to get into Ruben's stuff. And the toy she picked out today is duct tape. So I guess my dog Faith is now a carpenter or a mechanic or a plumber. Because as we all know, duct tape fixes everything. Do you have anything to say for yourself, Faith? Of course not.
Welcome, listeners. Today, this place was swarming with police officers. I like police officers, but, just found out also that 8 LAPD officers are infected with the coronavirus. So they're in quarantine. Everybody stay safe out there. Police officers are there to help you. I don't know why people are so scared or afraid of police officers. I mean, I can remember when I worked at a timeshare. Yes, I've done several jobs. One of them was being a timeshare salesman. And a police unit, sheriff officer, shows up on the scene, and I just start seeing all these kids running and hiding, and anywhere they could find, under a table. And I was like, why are you all hiding? I mean, the place was quiet, man. Nobody was around, and they were all yelling like, "I haven't paid my ticket. I have all these parking tickets." Really? Seriously, you're running because you have parking tickets? Anyway, everything turned out to be okay. The officer was there just to buy a timeshare, that's all. Boy, do I have a treat for you today. We have an exceptional caller, a professor, director of theater and acting, a very good friend of mine, Kathy Lingo. So all week, I've been remembering all the characters that I played and portrayed while I was in college. And I can remember particularly trying to play the Frenchman Lancelot. And I had a very good friend who was a Frenchman, who was also a professor from the university. And I can never forget when I went to ask him if he'd ever tried to play the role of Lancelot. And his response was, "Every day, Ruben, every day." So here I am trying to play the role of Lancelot. Every day, baby. Every single day. Stay tuned, everyone. Okay, are you there, Kathy?
I'm here, darling.
Okay, so we are here with Kathy Lingo, professor of instruction for drama and communication, the University of Texas at Dallas. She has a Master of Fine Arts in Arts and Technology, a Master of Arts in Teaching, also from the University of Texas at Dallas. She has a Bachelor of Science and Education from North Texas State University. And she specializes in acting, improvisation, theater directing, and public speaking. Is that correct, Kathy?
Boy, that sounds like a lot to be below me. It sounds like a lot, yes.
Okay, so just tell us a little bit about yourself. Of course, your name is Kathy Linko, and you are from Dallas, Texas. But just tell us a little bit about your history and your job and your current status there in Dallas.
Well, absolutely, I have the coolest job in the world. I get to laugh every day of my life. And those goofy students are so brilliant. I go, like, I'm in the grocery store, and somebody will say, "What do you do for a living?" And I go, "I make people laugh." And they look at me, and I'm like, "Yeah, and I actually own a house." I have the coolest job in the world. I taught public speaking for many, many, many years. In fact, we were competitive. We even competed in the World Debate in Manila in 1999. We've done the AFA circuit. Well, I did at my other institution. And like I said, I just have the best job in the world. But then when I was in college, and I'll never forget, I was in graduate school, and I would walk past those other professors' offices, and I thought they looked so cool. And I never, I thought, what a perfect job. And I never really thought that I would get to do that. And I got to. And so to me, I've got the coolest job in the world. And I get to teach I get to teach really smart students. You know that, Ruben. Really smart students. So what more could I ask for?
Tell us, where you're from. Are you originally from Dallas, or did you come from a different area from the country, or?
Well, I was born in a small country town in Texas. My parents, as soon as I was born, moved to Austin. Very, very intuitive, smart people. And then we moved from Austin when I was 5 years old to Dallas. And I've been here ever since, except when I've left for jobs and things of that sort. I always come back because this is home.
Right, exactly. So you've done some films, or you've been, or just tell us some of the films that you've been a part of, and just some of the stuff that we've done together there at the university, and what kind of classes you teach at the university.
Sure. When I was younger, I was very lucky to get to work with some very cool people. I've been on the set of, I was the production coordinator on Tech, and then I wound up being consulting on The Outsiders. I was only production coordinator for about 3/4 of the shoot on Tech. And then they used me as a consultant on The Outsiders. Then, let's see, I got a call. I'll never forget, when I was in graduate school. I kind of had to drop out of graduate school my last semester because I got a call to work on a film in Houston called Resurrection. And that, I tell you what, I learned so much on that film. It was phenomenal. Then from there, I went back to school, and I began to teach, and let's see, I teach improvisation. I have 4 sections of improvisation this semester. I can't believe how huge it's grown. And I get to direct every now and then. I teach all the theater courses when it's necessary. Honors Understanding Theater is the one. And that's what I do. And Ruben, I directed you. I did your stage direction when we did the show Sideshow, the musical. And I remember your costume was fantastic. I think you had such a great time being the ringleader.
It was really good. I really liked it, and I know we did some other stuff where I played the King Arthur, and the costumes were really great. But I just remember thinking, I made a funny joke where I said, "Wait, these gloves remind me of when I was doing some welding." And I said, "I'm a welder," and you turned around, you started laughing, and just broke out. I remember all the stuff we did. So, but I mean, I wanted to just ask, right now I know it's grown, and your classes were some of my favorite classes ever. I don't know. You just allowed me to have fun, and you allowed me to just get out of my comfort zone. And you were very intuitive, and you have a vast knowledge, especially in the comedic side, which I really enjoy because it helped me, with my career and as I keep moving forward here in Los Angeles. But so just, I guess you have just tell us about your family also. You have I know you have one daughter because I remember talking to her, and she was part of some of the production. So just tell us about your family there, and how long have you been teaching at the university?
Let's do it this way. I've been teaching at the college and university level for 35 years. I've been at UTD for 20 years, believe it or not. Oh my goodness. And I like to think that what I teach is creative critical thinking. I mean, yes, we laugh a lot. I mean, we laugh constantly. And my classes were always loud, and you could hear them down the hall. And yes, we amuse ourselves. But you know how difficult I make it. In other words, we laugh, but you have to have some critical thinking skills, and you've got to employ your imagination. And you learn how to do a setup, and you learn how to make the ending unexpected. You learn timing, because delivery is everything. It was like, the old saying is, a good speaker will tell you to go to hell, and for some weird reason you look forward to the trip. It's all about timing and delivery. And these kind of skills, I think, give you confidence to think on your feet, to be a truly present actor in this world. Because most of the time, people are either thinking ahead or behind. They're not really listening. They're not really in that moment. They're thinking of what they need to go do when the conversation is over, or they're thinking about what they didn't do that they need to catch up on. And so, besides critical thinking and listening skills, I think we learn more through laughter than we do through tears. I really do. Because when things are difficult, and if we can find a way to laugh through it, we will not only conquer it, but we'll come out healthier people and kinder to one another. Because right now what I'm seeing in the world is not always kind. And it's very difficult. And yes, it's very stressful. But if somehow we can manage to keep a smile on our face, make other people smile, we'll come out of this okay. And be more productive people for it. Today I was at the grocery store, and I had to get there very early. My daughter, one of my daughters, I have 4, one of my daughters moved into her apartment that she'd been looking so forward to for so many years on a Tuesday. She lost her job on a Wednesday. And no food, and you know how the stores are right now. So I was very early this morning waiting for the truck to come in, and I was there. And as I was checking out, this woman that I had a conversation with at a safe distance, and we've been laughing while we were waiting, she got very, very, very close to me. And I know it was that she wanted to confide in me and talk to me. And I know it was out of sweetness. And I backed up and I said, baby girl, you'll kill me. I still drink, I still date, and I still do everything I'm not supposed to do. And if I get this virus, I'll be dead. And she just started to laugh. And I said, baby, it's okay. Thank you. And then she stepped back. We've got to laugh about this. And then when talking to her, I discovered that she had just lost her job at a daycare.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted her to take care of it. It wasn't just for me.
Right.
In our conversation, I learned that she has children at home that she has to feed. She's out of a job. And she needed to laugh. I don't care if it's even at my expense. But she laughed, and she just felt better about the day. And isn't that what being humane is? Is making a person feel better for coming into contact with you and sadder.
Yes, that is correct. I mean, that is your specialty, and that is something that I grabbed onto when I was your student and when I was working with you on some of these productions. I really enjoyed all the insight that you give me, and just your persona that identifies you. That is you. And I don't know. You reminded me of the drinking, and there's stuff going on right now, and there's a thing called the quarantini, I guess. And it's you just mix. I just think, I mean, they say it's alcohol, and I don't know, certain type of alcohol, but I just think it's whatever you got in the house. You just put it together, and you.
At this point in time, a quarantini is what you got. I'm not going out to get it. Look, I was talking to my butcher, and you know me. I know everyone around me.
Right.
I like I said, I want to be present in people's lives, and I want them to be present in mine.
Right.
And so we were talking, and he was talking about how they didn't have any chicken, and they didn't have any ground turkey, and they didn't have this and that. And I said, you know what we got? We got Michelob Ultra Beer over there. What we need to do is we need to sterilize ourselves from the inside out.
I love it.
And this man walked up and he goes, I used to volunteer at the Irish something or other. And he goes, that's the way we looked at it. And I said, sir, my grandmother was born in Dublin. I know how to do this. And we all, isn't life, what would life be like if we didn't laugh and we weren't actually in touch with one another? It would be isolated. It would be lonely. It would be dark. Because even though now, I've tried to voluntarily quarantine myself to my house, just because, people are not always good about keeping their distance, and I just don't want to take any unnecessary risks. And the fewer people that are out there, the safer other people would be. Because if I did something that hurt another human being, man, I don't think I could live with myself. I really don't. Even if it were out of stupidity or innocence. But we've got to take care of each other. We have to watch out for each other. And even though I'm in quarantine, by the way, we will be locked down tonight.
Okay. That's Texas. It goes into effect tonight for Texas?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to be, which I knew it was coming. Anybody that has any common sense knows that it was down the road. We don't have to be lonely. Look, I'm in this house by myself, but I'm not by myself. I'm with you.
That's right. And you are with us right now. So, I really enjoyed the fact that you took time to speak with me today, and our listeners are getting a treat, because the way you are, you're bigger than life when we're around you, Kathy. And everybody knows that. And I really am happy, especially somebody as comedic as you and somebody as funny as you. It just brightens my day, because I feel that way. I'm like that also. I'd like to make the best of a situation, and I like to focus. I like making people laugh because, if anything, I think it's the best cure. I think I've read it so many times, and I've studied that also, and it's it's laughter is fantastic.
I listened to an interview yesterday from 3 people that have survived what were terminal diseases, and all 3 of them had in their message that they went to the positive side, that they began to really laugh and enjoy life. And they believe that that was a major part of their recovery. I also know, too, that when you're positive, okay, gratitude and appreciation are the 2 major forms of happiness. And in the studies that I've read, and it didn't matter what your socioeconomics were, people who claim to be the happiest have those 2 traits. And I think without those, we never really appreciate what we have. And we can acquire more and more and more stuff, but the stuff isn't going to make us happy. It's the people in our lives. It's that gratitude moment of when, okay, I'm a freaky woman. We all know that, and I love being different. But sometimes at night, if I'm not sleeping or I've had too much coffee, which go figure that, I ate too much coffee. But I'll just walk around the house and look at things and remember. I remember when I took that picture of Brooke that hangs in my hall. And it makes me smile. I love that picture. Or I'll look at an item that one of my children has given me, and I'll think, wasn't that really sweet of them? Or I look at things like now, things that were passed down to me from my mom. And, that's sometimes a little bit of a sad moment, but so grateful for it. I do worry. I mean, every human being worries. I think if you care, you worry. But when I'm worried or stressed, if I can get myself to that point of that gratitude, and then all I have to do is have a conversation with you or think about one of our crazy moments, the world is in its place. And it doesn't matter how much I have, it's who gave it to me, where it came from, and who enjoyed it with me. Other than that, it's just stuff.
Yes, that is exactly right. From you were saying, I mean, from being in the moment, you want to be in the moment, but you also, as a comedian, you kind of look at stuff from a different angle, and I really appreciate that because I gained a lot of it from your classes, and I just was able to express all of that stuff. But you did mention that earlier, and I just wanted to expand a little bit on that, like being in the moment. I guess people are so caught up with everything that's going on, and just take a time to reflect at the situation that you're currently in, people you come across, and just extend that helping hand to those around you.
Yes. A week ago, I was at my local grocery store, and they were limiting paper towels. They had 2 3-packs, and I was picking up those for my daughter, who unfortunately lost her job, and they had nothing in the apartment, and so I put them in there. And this woman came by, and she goes, "Oh, you got the last 2." And the first thing I just automatically did was I said, "Would you like one of them? Do you need one of them?" And she said, "No, I've got all I need." And I thought, that's unique. And someone else came behind her, said the same thing, and he took them. And I thought to myself, he must have needed them more than I do.
Yes.
Because doing the right thing, I will get it back. Maybe not in paper towels, maybe not in money, but I'll get it back by being able to tell myself, you were not greedy, you were not selfish, you probably helped somebody else out, and doing the right thing, even in times of difficulty, it'll make you feel better about yourself, if nothing else.
Amen. I just
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. I know we talk quite a bit about acting and improvisation, but you also teach other classes. You also specialize in public speaking, and what aspect or tell us a little bit about that and how you help people with public speaking.
Well, for years, and when I first came to UTD, I taught public speaking, and I taught it competitively. The American Forensic Association. We used to be competitive, and um, we would compete with all the major schools all over the country. And I find that it's very. I'm not going to tell you that it's easy, and sometimes people think that they're very good at it, and they're not, because they've learned it from a different model. But the students that are really, really good at it, that know how to set the speech up, to intrigue the audience, to keep things going. Number one, don't make it difficult for your audience to keep up. That's your job as a speaker. Make the audience want to listen, because the only reason that you're speaking is for the audience. It is a gift that you give your audience. The minute that you say, oh gosh, I don't want to do this, no, guess what? The audience can feel it. The audience knows it. But when you're up there and you're excited about what you're speaking about, and you're all the love, and that's the only word I know how to say it, the love of your audience comes through. And even if you make a mistake, your audience will forgive you, because they can feel that energy. The speech will be well structured, it will be well practiced. It will not be a burden to the audience, it will be a joy. And I think they look at it that way. And then you tie up that little gift with a really pretty bow by having an awesome conclusion. It makes everything so wonderful. But, they say that the number one fear of all people is public speaking. And, the old comic routine of, that means that if I'm giving a eulogy at a funeral, most people would rather be in the box than speaking over the box.
I believe it. I used to have a problem too, public speaking. I mean, just getting in front of people when I was young. I actually had a real difficult time, and I think it just came a point where I just wanted to change that. I mean, it was nerve-wracking for me. Getting in front of people, I just would freeze up, and that's a weakness that I had for a long time, and I feel like I've come a long way. I don't know. I mean, I guess you would know better,
Yeah.
but I mean, it is very important, and it's very important to understand this, especially because at some point you're going to have to address people. You're going to have to do this stuff. Or, I mean, if you prefer like me, I relish it. I want to be I want to be able to talk to people. And I understand that there is an arc in the conversation or the speech that you're giving. And there has to be purpose with what you say. And, I mean, that's just part of being a good public speaker.
Well, do you remember me saying, when you were in school, that it never began by apologizing?
Right. Yes.
Because, number one, your audience doesn't need that burden. Your audience is there to listen. And the other reason that most of the time we're so afraid to speak is because we believe that we're going to be judged, that we're going to be criticized. And no one wants that. We live in such a highly critical society at times that, to do public speaking and to do improv and acting, comedy, whatever, you are putting yourself out there. But I think, in reality, if we really look at it, all right, people are not there to criticize you. People are there to enjoy you. And, okay, I once had a very nervous person in my class. And I could see that this person was very nervous and scared, and oh my gosh, my heart just went out to them. And I went on for a few classes. I purposely wore sleeveless things and stuff like that. And there's a reason I told you sleeveless, and we'll come back in a moment. And about 4 weeks into the class, I said, most of you are very scared because you think that people are looking at you, judging you. Did you notice that I have a split on my upper lip, left side? Or how about that my left arm is a little different? And I hold my arm up and people, and I'm like, you never noticed it because I never let you. If I would have come up here and been insecure and been sending myself the message, oh, you're looking at my arm, oh, you're looking at my split lip, I would show it to you and not even realize it because it's conscious with me. But when I think about you, the audience, I don't have time to even think about my arm or my lip. And nobody ever notices it.
Yeah.
How we feel about ourselves. You see, we do know this. The way you feel about yourself is the way that you perceive the world. If you are negative towards yourself, many times you're going to be negative towards others in the world. And so we have to learn to have a good self-concept so that we can perceive the world as seeing the good in it, not just always the negative. And that's where I think the comedy comes in. And this is why, I'll give you, I'll give you a story and then I'll put something at the end that you're not expecting, because what most people expect is generally not the way I think. True, Ruben?
Yes, correct. We know that for sure. Right.
All right? And so sometimes when people are hypercritical or they're very negative, I just try not to take it personally. And I kind of feel compassion for them. Because that can't be a very pretty place. It can't be a very fun place either. And every day we have on this earth is a treasure, a gift, and it should be treated that way.
That is awesome.
And
Thank
you know what?
Go ahead.
Every student teaches me something too. Every student.
We learn from those around us.
You better believe it. It either solidifies what I already thought I knew, or I learned something completely new. But it's never lost.
That's correct. Hey, so what are your plans? Like, what's next for Kathy Lingo?
Well, I'm going to keep on trying to grow the improv project. We're booming. I'm so proud of them. If you go on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel, and you can view the showcase shows that we've been doing. We do one every semester, and I'm really, really proud of them. We have the club improv, but I'm not club improv. In fact, I think theirs is UTD improv, and mine is improv UTD. But if you see the little icon or whatever you call it, it says showcase. You can tell that there are shows, and they're super, and I want to keep them going. One of my students got a scholarship this summer in improv at the IO Theater in Chicago. So proud of her. I can't stand it. One of my many, many, many sweethearts. And the students are just booming. The majority of them are from all over the world and all different majors, because improv is everywhere.
Yes.
And no matter what your major is, no matter what your business is, it's like you said, we need it.
Yes, that is correct.
Not only that, it makes you feel so good about yourself.
Right. Yes, you said on YouTube you have subscribe, and do you have anything else that you're working on like that that's online that we should subscribe to for all the all our listeners?
No, nothing right now. I'm just really trying to get my teaching. I want to keep on moving forward. I want to keep on developing things. Like I said, I'm just going to keep the improv going, and I'm going to just keep on teaching. I mean, it's hard to believe that I'm now past 40. Ha 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 ha.
Before we go any further, I want to ask you. You had mentioned that, or I guess during the break here, you asked me about Italy, teaching in Italy. I want you to expand on that and just give us some information on it.
Right. Because there's something I really want to say about that, especially in today, what's going on today, and the horrible things that are happening in Italy. Yeah, I think it's current, and I think these are things that need to be said.
Right. So, how long did you teach there, or how was your time there?
I was so lucky. I was an international professor at the University of Verona in Verona, Italy. And I absolutely loved the people that I worked with, and my friends there were just the best people in the world. I got to teach public speaking. Of course, it was taught in English. And that's very difficult when English is your second language. And they did a fabulous job. But some of the things that I love about Italy is that dinner or meal are not just 10-minute or 20-minute ordeal. You sit down, you have probably 4 plates, and each plate does not come at once. It comes in its progression of the meal. So people actually sit down and talk and discuss and laugh. In fact, I was at a luncheon, and I'm not joking, for Christmas one year that lasted 4 hours. It was awesome. Of course, the wine made it even more awesome, but I got to know everyone that was at that party. We actually got engaged, and it was such a wonderful experience. And the friends that I made there, my heart is breaking for right now. Just absolutely breaking for. They accepted me into their homes. And one girlfriend in particular would have me over to her home. She would work all day long. And she would come home and fix these fabulous meals. And even her kids and their friends and their spouses would make me feel like I was an honored guest. And they were doing everything for me. It was incredible. And she and I are communicating, of course, through Facebook. And I'm finding out things that are going on in Verona and the surrounding area. And my heart just breaks, but it reminds me that we have to care about each other. And everyone, not everyone, but sometimes people say, oh, that's so far away from me. Trust me, what happened to another human being somewhere else in the world, I think we now know can happen to you. We cannot ignore others' suffering. Because it will eventually reach us. She has been sending me messages to protect myself. She informed me that a church here in the United States sent extra medical equipment to them. And she tells me the story and her message is, and I thank you for that. And so, by being an American, I'm part of it. What gratitude does this woman have? We have to care about the rest of the world, because if we don't, it will become our problem eventually. And, we've got to realize that this too shall pass, as my mother used to say all the time. But who will we be when it passes is the real question. How will we have constructed ourselves? who will we become? And I think that's really the most important thing in the world. Will we come out of this being a better person, more compassionate, more caring, more empathetic, closer to our children, our family, and our friends? Or do we make the choice to become isolated and bitter? I choose the first.
Yes, very well stated. Thank you, Kathy. I do want to say that I pray for everybody, and I do want to continue to pray, especially for Italy, that's suffering, and all the areas around the world that are just trying to deal with this crisis. And you're absolutely right. It's gonna. I mean, we have to care also because we're facing the same situation, and that catastrophe that's happening in other countries could very possibly turn out to end here. But I do keep my sights on God, and like you said, this too shall pass. So.
It will, but how will we be when it passes?
Exactly.
That's why I say I hope the world will be a better place for this. I really, really do.
I do believe so. Yes.
I do too. Mm-hmm. Because I believe, well, I don't want to get into belief systems and all that sort of stuff, but I just kind of, for general purposes, say I believe in karma. Because I believe what you do for another human being, you may not think, but it may be passed down to their children. It may be passing a stranger on the street, and you have no idea. By something that you do for someone else, excuse me, can affect so many people.
Right.
And you can't look for that reward.
Right.
You have to have a personal faith.
That's right. There is a ripple effect. There is a ripple effect, with your actions, and people do pick up on it. I also wanted to say, I know you're a professor, and I understand that the university is, I think they postponed all the classes, and a lot of people are going online. But as a performer and a teacher of performance, it's difficult to convert these classes into online classes. So I don't know if you guys are doing anything from that aspect, or if you're converting, but I just see the challenges there, and I don't really know how. I don't have an answer for that. I hope you do. I don't know.
Well, I've already done my syllabi for all of my classes, all 5. Yes, I teach 5. I've already done my classes, and I've turned in my syllabi. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And then I was like, you know what? I call them my kids. They're my students. I shouldn't do that. But at my age, please, I'm older than their parents. So I do call them my kids at times. I thought, you know what? They're going to teach me. I just need to be receptive and open, because I'm not the technological wizard I should be. They're so much more advanced than I am. And like I said, I learn something all the time. But I went online. Oh my gosh. The beautiful things that I found. A phenomenal thing. And then I thought, they're doing all of this stuff. They have these groups. We have FaceTime. I mean, oh my gosh, we've got Zoom. We've got just add it. And I made these assignments. And I think I'm going to have proof at the end of the semester. We can do this. We really can. We can work remotely, and we can produce, I think, these wonderful pieces of art. But I also wanted to make it something that was enjoyable right now. Everybody's under stress. Look, I woke up one morning, and I believe my retirement is gone. 35, 40, okay. Let's just say over 20 at this point, okay?
Wow.
Years of saving, sacrificing, whatever, investing is gone.
Right. There's a big plummet on the stock market, yeah.
Right.
Right.
I'm not the only person in this world. I'm so grateful that I could have done that. Because I think about the people who don't. And I think about the students that are working full time, they're going to school, like my daughter, and they lose their job. you know what? You just buckle up and you say, there's someone that has it worse. And I got online and I found such brilliance. There were so many things online. TED Talk. Oh my gosh, we have a comedian that lives here in Dallas that has a TED Talk that he did in Nevada that's absolutely brilliant, that teaches you setup and twist. I found people from all over the country that were contributing to what I do. And oh my God, it just made me so excited, electric. And I just put this stuff together, and I think my students are going to enjoy it. They're going to have to be very creative, but I think this is just going to be a catalyst. I don't think it's going to be as difficult as people think. In fact, I'm even going to, if we go back to full-time classes, I'm going to incorporate some of this stuff in the class because it's too rich. And it's really staying up with current times.
Yes.
And we've got to do that.
Well, that's excellent to hear. I'm glad you were able to find all the avenues that you were searching for and all that information that you got, because that's very promising. It sounds very, very good. But just historically, it has been difficult to bring performance type of situations online. But I'm just glad that you turned that page, and it seems like it's going to be an exciting future for that.
Well, yeah, but look, a student can now be in their home and perform for me live and talk to me live, so I can still critique them. In fact, I can get groups together all in completely remote areas, and we can all work together. How cool is that?
That is amazing.
I never thought I would be teaching this way. And then my gosh, our phones have better cameras than the expensive cameras I used to buy.
Right.
I remember some of the first big cameras that I bought when I was teaching acting for commercials and film. Oh my gosh, that camera cost me like $2,000, and back then I thought it was a lot. Now my cell phone has that quality.
Oh my gosh, I don't even want to get into cameras, Kathy. I was collecting them. I think I have one that weighs about 2,000 pounds. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not 2,000 pounds, probably about 80 pounds. But how do people lug that around? You know what I mean? To get
I remember. I remember having a huge thing on my shoulder and having to push all these buttons to get a zoom in. Oh my gosh, I remember. Gosh, this is so cool now.
Yes.
And like I said, at first, I'm human, just like everybody else. And I thought, oh, mercy, how am I going to do this? Because you know me, Ruben. Yes. I've always been a in-your-face kind of person. I want to be there. I want to be a part of the action. I want to, you know me, I can't sit in the back of that dark theater. Where do you see me? I'm jumping up and down. I'm never sitting. All right, I'm watching you, and you know this.
Yes.
You're on stage. I'm watching you 24/7. You are my focus. You are my purpose. I want to make sure that everything you do, I'm appreciative of. And whether it's a critique or whether it's a compliment, I'm watching. And no one else gives my notes, as you well know. I give my notes. Right.
No, I remember you actually sometimes would stand at the end of the theater to see if you could hear us, and I could, and we had music playing and everything, and all of a sudden you would start speaking and everything would stop. Your voice would cut right through the music, right through the instruments. And I remember, but you were doing the right thing because you're standing at the end of the theater, make sure that you were getting, that the student or the actor was reaching the person at the back of the theater towards the end of the theater. So that was excellent. Yeah.
Thank you. Every person in my theater is important, from the back seats to the front seats. But the main thing too is I want to make sure that all of my actors get that appreciation that they've worked for. And I came from an era where we didn't have microphones. And I think that's so funny, and I love it that I can still speak to you from the back, the very last seat to that stage, and that meant so much to me. It really does, because sometimes I think these skills are lost because of technology, but I think we need to bring a balance into it. And having those skills will not hurt you. It will not hurt you at all. And whether you're standing on a soapbox in the middle of Grand Central Station or whether you're in a huge theater, I want my actors to be heard, and I want my audience not to have to struggle to hear you. You know this. I work you guys to death.
Yes.
Because you guys deserve that.
Right.
Every one of my students deserves to be worked and to be worked by me, and for me to give you my full attention. And yeah, you've seen me. I want to make sure I can see you, hear you, that my blocking is fully revealed. I can't sit down. Right. I don't let you sit down, do I?
No, but it's right. I mean, I can see the love and the effort that you're putting, and it's contagious. You know, we pick up on that and we apply it to what we're doing. But that's what we want. I mean, that's what you want as a performer, to be able to be that infused into us in our performance, and so it can flourish and present it on stage for everybody to see.
How can I ask you to work hard if I don't?
Right.
How? How can I do that with a clear conscience? How can I ask you to do something, and I'm really bad about this. I can do it, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And I'll jump up on that stage and do it for you and help you get through it. Because if I'm not excited about it, just like public speaking, if I'm not excited to be there, why should you be?
Right.
If I don't love it, why would I expect you not to love it?
Exactly.
If I don't love you and respect you, why would I expect you to respect me? These are double standards I guess I just don't understand.
Right.
And it's really simple.
Yes.
You know, I think it's a very simple philosophy. And maybe it's a little old school, but that's okay. I'm old. It's all right. It's okay. All right? It's good thing.
Yes. That is awesome. Yes, I just, I guess one last thing I asked you earlier, what your future plans and what are your goals here? As far as the stock market, you talked about that, but I think it'll balance itself out eventually. I know it usually does. You spoke about we spoke about the stock market going down and all that, and I think eventually it balances itself out. So,
sometimes you can't gain what you've lost.
Right.
But here's what you have to think about, or at least this is how I speak to myself. I've lost a lot of money. I lost what I thought was going to be my future. But in reality, I really haven't lost anything because I still have my students. I still have my children, and they are healthy and thriving. And I still have hope, and I still believe that everything is possible.
That is correct. I fully am confident that whatever is lost will turn into gains after we get through this crisis. So I'm very, very confident and optimistic about that, and I just have a feeling that everything's going to come out okay outside of this.
So what if I have to work till the day I die? Like my work is not going to be cool. Maybe that will keep me alive longer.
Well, I mean, like you, I love it. So, that's what that we're going to be doing this until we leave this earth. So I know that for a fact.
Yes, that's correct.
Right.
That's correct, darling.
Well, thank you so much, Kathy, for speaking with me today, and for our listeners here. Again, I've learned so much from you, and I just it's electric every time we talk, and you infuse all this energy into me, and makes me want. I don't know if you can infuse any more, because sometimes I feel like I want to explode. But no, everything is fantastic. I just again, I'm happy that everything is going well with your classes and all this new information and technology that you're working with. And I just will keep you and your family in my prayers. And I thank you again for taking the time to do this.
Baby, once you're one of my kids, you're one of my kids for life. And you know what? I've got more children than you could possibly believe. And it's awesome. I'm so glad that other people gave birth to them and fed them for me. I am so grateful. Have a great day, darling. Okay. And I will talk to you hopefully very soon.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Kathy. That concludes our podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a pleasant day.